We joined the super legit crew before the show as we get a little taste of parenthood.
I got to see Steven be super dad this weekend. It was fucking amazing. He did something that was like dad hero. It was amazing.
Nice.
You guys missed out.
I look forward to hearing it.
Was there a building on fire?
Did he change a diaper? What happened?
Well, no, but somebody could have melted down.
Touch the thermostat.
Had he not...
By the way,
I murdered that person.
I love that Jen encapsulated being a dad in our current world and in all worlds, where it's just like, oh my God, you're such a hero. Yeah. You did a thing that moms do all the fucking time once. Oh,
I didn't even mean it that way, but I can see how you interpret it.
In 3, 2, 1. What was that?
That is a giant helicopter going over my apartment building. It's my ride coming to pick me up. I'm sorry. I was like, well, he'll either back here or he won't.
I thought, well, we're doing something new now. I missed
that. Allowed me to get a fart out like we were on an elevator.
I thought someone was getting beamed up just now.
Yeah, we have the Blue Angels fly us in now. That's how we start this show. Welcome, everyone, to Super Legit Podcast. I am your host, Jet Kaufman, and I am surrounded once again by favorite people of mine. We've got Chris Sanders.
Hi.
Michael Heiman.
Hey.
Josh Spence.
Hola.
Jen Burton.
Hello.
Sean Michael Boozer.
Present.
And Stephen C. James.
Welcome back, my friend.
Happy to have you all here. So we're doing a special little non-guest episode this week. It's just us. We're getting back to our roots.
So a normal episode.
Yeah.
Is it special?
This is the
I feel like it's special now. We've been doing
part of the rotation.
Right. We've had this run of guests for a little while here, and now we get to just check in with one another. We don't have to put on airs for our lofty guests.
I mean, the podcast listeners at home can't see each of our windows, but all of our individual homes are filthy right now. We didn't clean up for guests at all. There's just laundry everywhere, just grime. Nary a clean baseboard amongst any of these windows.
I don't have pants on.
My camera is directed at my baseboard.
I've been playing the game Power Wash Simulator lately. So like everything you were describing there, I was picturing what nozzles I'd use on the power washer in the video game to clean all of those things. The game is really great because you can spend several hours playing it instead of cleaning your actual home. It's wonderful. Fantastic escape.
You clean your home with a power washer?
I wish I could. Like then I might actually do it. Instead, I have to use tools that I don't even know what they are because I don't bother, and my home's filthy instead. Broom?
A vacuum?
Oh, the Harry Potter thing.
Last summer at camp, we bought a brand new power washer to power wash things, and we had this office JC who played a ton of Power Wash Simulator and knew exactly how to use the thing immediately in real life because of how much he played this game.
So this is not like the discussion we had about how Guitar Hero doesn't track to actually playing guitar, but in this case, having a
Power Wash
video game.
How complicated is it? You pull a trigger and point the water at the dirty thing? I mean,
I feel like Jen's made a very valid point here.
Am I a dick? I mean, I feel like maybe
not for this
reason.
Or
you're not a dick. You're a savant.
I'm a power washing savant.
Yeah.
Now, see, my first impression, my first instinct was to be like, wow, there's a video game about power washing. How ridiculous. But I have spent more time than I care to admit watching those videos when they come up on Instagram or whatever of the power washing. It's very satisfying to watch.
It's therapeutic, both to watch.
It truly is. It has a meditative quality.
Yeah. So, of course, we've got a question for this week. Let's dive into it. What is the worst job you've ever had? I feel like most of us have probably had a lot of jobs, some of various types. I mean, there's a bunch of actors in this crowd, so it could certainly go that direction, or the classic straight jobs. But what's a job you just hated the shit out of, the fuck out of? Which profanity should I use? Steven, I see your hand up first.
It's a weird question for me because I've had the same job for the past 20 something years.
That's
so
incredible.
It's like a way blast in the past to think of this job, but it's the job that I had just before I started teaching. I moved out here when I lived in Texas. I had waited tables many times, and I remember the last day I had waiting tables in Texas. I believe what I said, because I'm supportive, was, "Bye, you fuckos. I'm never gonna have to wear a uniform again." Right? And then about 15 minutes later, while doing my side work, 2 olive oil bottles smashed, and I wound up getting stabbed in the hands with glass. Like some sort of last night at the Fresco's Italian restaurant Stigmata. Right.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
had a bad experience waiting tables. And then I moved out here. And as I was looking for a teaching job, I was like, anything but waiting tables, anything but waiting tables. And I wound up having to wait tables at this place called Mi Piace. And I waited tables at their Calabasas restaurant. Living in North Hollywood, I was driving to Calabasas.
Oof.
Which,
That's
since
a
I'm from
schlep.
Texas, I was like, this is normal. And now, if I had a friend in Calabasas, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm never talking to them ever again.
Yes.
Right?
If you had a friend in Calabasas, you wouldn't have a friend.
Yeah. I was driving back and forth to Calabasas to work lunch shifts. Their uniform was a white shirt and white pants. Like, I had to buy white jeans.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was terrible. But then the worst part was I also had a job as like their dessert sherpa or whatever in their Burbank restaurant. Like, I just did desserts, and the woman who ran the desserts, her husband was the main chef, who, like, they brought in the desserts from his dessert place, and the manager was awful and one of the most micromanaging people I have ever worked for, and was just an absolute nightmare. There was nothing that I ever sent out of that kitchen that was good enough. Like, you know, like people talk about studio notes, how it's like, well, they're just giving you a note to give you a note so they can just keep their job. That was exactly her, except with a $4 tiramisu. It was so frustrating. Where it's like, oh, you're putting the chocolate powder there? I'm like, yeah, it's on the like, even now, 20 years later, clearly I think I'm somebody who doesn't hold a grudge. Guys, I'm so heated right now. Like, I can feel myself warming up, getting angry at this woman from an espresso slice 20 years ago.
You know, well, I absolutely like, dude, those are the things I think about when I think about worst jobs, is like the lack of support and almost like attack you get. Like, those are what makes your job horrible. To your point about traffic, the other day I'm thinking, dude, I haven't been to Mindo in forever. I've been going to Lemonade like consistently and constantly. And I prefer Mindo over Lemonade. But I was like, why am I going to Lemonade all of a sudden? I realized because I moved, Mindo is now a left, but Lemonade is a right. So it's easier to get to.
Yes.
So I am with you as far as traffic and driving, let alone going to Calabasas.
And that's as strong as your loyalty is.
Super.
Wow. Oh, my God. Candy Mountain is huge. I can't believe we're here. I saw the photos. It always looked big in the photos, but it's so much bigger in real life. Oh, honey, we're finally here.
I love it. It's just so big, and it's exactly like the pictures. Look, it's so filled with candy.
Yes.
You guys have totally done the right thing by hiring a local Sherpa. I will take care of you because it is as high and as dangerous as it looks. I mean, there's a trail going up the whole way with the handrail, but some of the handrail areas are incredibly slick.
I mean, it looks like it's just
And this part is sticky.
I'm going to stop you right here. I've only 5 pages into your autobiography, but you're telling me you went through Candy Mountain in Candyland all by yourself? Is that what you're telling me, sir?
I'm not saying all by myself. We had. I want to trump it up a little bit. We did have help. We did have, my wife.
It wasn't just us.
I guess I might as well keep reading.
All right.
I'll just keep reading. Sorry.
I mean, there's gumdrops everywhere. I feel like those are going to protect us if we fall off, right? I mean, they look squishy.
Some of the gumdrops are very squishy and pillow-like, yes. But also, some of the candy canes have over time weathered and sharpened up, and you want to look out for those.
I've heard that there's something called a fudge-a-lanche, where the fudge just comes tumbling down the mountain and it kills people.
Well, it doesn't
but deliciously.
But in a good way, and then you eat your way out. Is that inaccurate?
That is completely inaccurate. It does not tumble. It slides.
I know it's weird to have you watch me read your manuscript, and
Not
I'm only
at all.
30 pages
I'm
in.
wrapped.
But I'm kind of waiting for the part where it's like one of you guys eat each other. It seems like you guys are just having a good time. Is this just something about you
there
guys?
was a point where he was covered with syrup, and I did lick some of it off, but it wasn't a sexual thing. It was just he was in trouble, and I ate some of it off, but we did not eat each other.
No, we're
okay.
both,
I'm sorry. I'll keep reading. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, all right.
All right, which one of you has been showering in my personal syrup? That syrup is for my showers, and I only brought enough for my 14 days up and 7 days down.
You're supposed to you were supposed to provide supplies for us. What were we supposed to do?
I thought that was for everyone.
Oh,
Yeah,
let me
kind of selfish of you.
Let me explain how yes, I'm extremely selfish. That's my Sherpa style. My thing is mostly like trying
Honey, could
to
you get
teach
this
you
spot
guys
real quick while he talks?
Sure.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm being mobbed.
Pardon me for just a moment. I'm coming in to get some supplies. Just patching up a wall in my house. Excuse me. Landon! Good sherpering to you, Landon. Good sherpering.
Thank you. That is
She's
one
so
of
nice.
the.
She was the gingerbread witch. I read about her in the book.
There's people
my
out there.
gosh.
This lady's crazy. She's trying to cook us. She's trying.
Quiet you!
Oh,
Quiet you! Have another fudge sickle. Goodbye,
think
Landon.
that's-
Goodbye.
She sounds so giving. She sounds a lot more generous than you.
She does that. That little boy was, I think, in trouble, though.
You know what? Here's the thing. I
was
don't need
giving
you
him
outsiders
fudgicles. That's
judging
positive. Yeah, I'm
our
sorry.
lifestyle and our way of living. We live the way some of our residents do. Yes, eat children, but that's for us.
I'm sorry. Some of you eat children?
No, not me.
don't-
I thought
I'm-
this was a happy place.
Don't
Dude, I'm
judge.
vegan.
We're in
I'm
someone
vegan.
else's land. When in Rome, I mean, just
I
I'm
just
saying
think we should help that little boy. He seemed stuck with that witch person.
You know what? I mean,
I'm sorry. I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying. First of all, that's our word. You can't call me that.
I'm sorry,
Thank
which
you.
person?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
person.
honey.
did-
Oh, I'm
I'm a
sorry.
master of spells. The W word is quite pejorative.
Oh, I
my
didn't
God.
know that. Where I
I
come from, it's just a normal
apologize.
word.
I apologize on her behalf. She does not know. Her ignorance is it's not her fault. She was just raised that way.
I never graduated the 6th grade.
It's perfectly fine. I'm here to educate. I want to bring you in, not push you away. Landon, this is not your fault. Don't worry. Now, as far as eating children goes, my relationship with this child is one of protection and kindness. Don't
Everything
assume
she says
anything.
is a lie. She's trying to put me in
Okay,
this
oh,
habit.
look, chewing gum. Oh, have the entire container of Big League Chew.
Okay.
That's so much gum.
Okay, so Miss Witch Person, I'm also reading your manuscript, and it's you really gloss over the eating the children ritual part, but you seem to keep coming back to that sexy Sherpa.
I'd like to remind you, there is no evidence of me eating a child. If I recall, those two little shits shoved me into an oven, which I barely escaped with my
I'm not
life
here to
from.
judge. I'm just
I never tasted a sweet, sweet morsel of child flesh. So you can fuck right off and tell your lawyers they can eat all of my witch tit.
Well, that's not the language you would want to talk to someone who's trying to option your screenplay, but
Listen, I started an entire bidding war. Hocus Pocus is hot as shit right now. Everybody wants me. You're only one bastard at the ball, motherfucker.
Legit.
I wish I could walk in pitch meetings like that.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, does this dovetail perfectly into Shawn Michael talking about the worst job he's ever had, wanting to walk into a pitch meeting and be like, listen, assholes, if you want gold, it's right here.
I just wish we got to the more of the sexy Sherpa guy. I was trying to really hype him up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like I keyed in on that witch thing too, but I could not think of the word Wiccan. So I couldn't correct it. And I was like, what's the word? What's the proper...
Man, I honed in on mi piace. It just sounds like what Mario, it'd be like Mario's pet name for Peach.
Let's cut to that.
We'll see if we can fit it in.
I have a worse
Yeah.
job. I only worked it for half a day. Yeah, it wasn't even a full day. It was technically the first day of training. I went through an interview. Like this was when I lived in Chicago. Immediately after moving from Michigan to Chicago, I spent a year back in home in Kalamazoo, Michigan after the Army before I made the move to Chicago. And I would drive every Sunday to take my Second City classes 3 hours each way. It was totally ridiculous to do.
I feel like a dick for not wanting to take a left.
Just for Second City classes, right? Mm-hmm. And when I moved after a year of that, I was like, this is stupid. I'll just move to Chicago. I moved without an actual job. And in like the first week, in the first few days, I got this interview at some company just outside the city in the suburbs. It might have been in like Elk Grove, one of those, if you know the Chicagoland area. Interview was fine. It was a little ambiguous, but you didn't need like a college degree, which I didn't have. I only had a few credits from the little bit of college I did before the Army. First day was training, and it was a big open room, like a giant ballroom at a hotel, in this like industrial park. And for 2 hours ish, it was just slowly revealed, like tape was pulled off of the picture one sheet at a time, that this is just a call center where you will be cold calling to sell like business consulting favors. It's just these business experts that you sell one of them to a small business to have them evaluate that small business owner's business and decide if they can make more money for them. It was called International Profit Associates.
At least they were honest. That is a ridiculous name.
There was a very nice Nigerian prince who was the head of the whole thing. But there was the training room was just like poorly maintained hotel ballroom. But then you walk out of there through some hallways, and it's like gold leaf everything is like super high end. There's these massive murals and pictures on the wall, like the real thick old school Victorian type framed, painted photos even of the CEO of International Profit Associates, and it is straight up out of a cartoon, like the suspenders, no jacket, dark solid color shirt, man. Balding, it like cigar in a hand or in his mouth in some of the pictures, just ridiculous. And we got taken straight to the call center where we were then like, all right, you're just gonna, because we really believe in you guys, we're gonna like have you just start calling people today, and you're gonna work with someone who's been here a while. And I mean, in the training too, there was like, maybe they were plants, but there was a couple of different suckers that like, the training is just them basically reading your script for your calls to you and trying to sell their product or their service to you. There were a couple guys during it that like stopped and looked around at their fellow trainees and said like, this is a win-win. Oh, God. Like they got so hardcore sold. And I immediately start and I'm put under this guy who's been there allegedly for several years. And like, you're not doing any better. So how is this a good example of like how this is going to work out for me? Right. And of the 4 or 5 calls I made, every single one of them immediately answered. And before I could, all I got through was my name and with International Profit Associates, and they just tore my ass apart. They were like, this is the 15th time you guys have called this morning. What the fuck do I have to do to fucking get you to stop calling me? You need me to buy your bullshit product? I'll fucking buy it. And I'm just like apologizing because I give 2 shits about this place.
But you made a sale.
Oh my God.
That guy did you a favor.
Nope, did not make a sale. And I was like, I'm so sorry. That's unethical and that's terrible. I will put your file in the do not call list.
Yeah.
And after the second one of those, the guy that's like shadowing me, or that I'm supposed to be shadowing, overheard it, I guess, turns around, he goes, you call this motherfucker back. After your next call, you call him back. And then you call him back again. And then you call him back again. That's how you do it. That's how you sell. And I was like, I don't. He's like, oh, you too scared to do it? Then I'll do it. And then that's all he. That's what he. I just realized that this guy, that's his whole job. Is he just goes to everyone else's desk and takes from their do not call and puts them in his call and just calls them back.
That's
and
horrific.
Harasses them until they actually give up.
Are you sure there was more than one phone number? Maybe it was like a grudge situation.
But I mean,
Some
they
sort
were
of
like
twisted revenge.
There were even very well dressed dudes with Rolexes and like just high end stuff on, hanging out towards the back of the bullpen where there's a couple actual offices. And those guys we were told that those were like the top sellers. That these are the type of guys that they get their regular paychecks are too small. The guy training us was like, whoever he was referring to, the top seller dude. And he was like, I have a drawer in my office full of his paychecks, of his regular paychecks. He doesn't even bother picking them up because they're so small. All he cares about is the commission checks.
Super.
You afraid to say it? You're afraid to say it? That's fine. I'm not afraid to say it. I'll say it to your face. I love you. I fucking love you. Yeah, I said it. There.
Are you really fucking telling me that you love me again? What kind of bullshit is this? This is like the 10th time you said I love you to me this morning. I don't need this kind of pressure. No. This is my fucking turn, all right? I don't need your love. I don't need your smothering love, all right? It's too much for me. I don't need it, all right? Every time I try to take a brief moment for myself, I mean, what do I have to do?
That's not how this works.
Marry you?
That's not how
is
this
that
works.
what I have to do? Is that the way I get you to quit doing this? Am I going to have to marry you? Jesus.
We talked about this the first time we talked on the phone. The first level of friendship is the Facebook friendship like. And then after that, we become real friends. Then after
I'm late. I heard my name. What?
Listen, I'm not gonna let this guy say I love you to me anymore. All right, you got to take.
I do.
Over.
I love you. I love you, man.
Look, as Jesus, I love everybody. So I'm going to allow it.
Listen, Mr. Christ, I just want you to know.
Please, that was my stepfather's name.
Yeah, Jesus is my homie, and he can be your homie too when you accept his love as well. Two men loving you. How's that?
Guys, I am all full up on love, all right?
What is it? You don't you can't accept two guys loving you?
Keep on mind, my love is more platonic.
All right. I usually stay out of this, and son, I'm sorry I followed you down here, but listen, you're a little New Testament hippie, you got to say things. Dude, it's not working for everybody. It's definitely not working for me. You know what? I used to put the smack down on in the Old Testament. Yeah, you come at me, I crush you. You know what?
No
Israelites
kidding, Dad. What? I was crucified. I get it.
Do you? But you came back 3 days later. I mean, you couldn't even do that right. You couldn't stay dead, could you?
Because I'm filled with too much love that I need to spread.
You know what has kept me around from before you were born? All this venom. It just fuels me.
You see, I get that.
If you just tap into the anger.
Did somebody say my name?
Oh, boy, Dad.
I don't think anybody's had Satan, but...
Well. It's me, Venom. Anybody to eat here?
No. Also, I don't know if you can be here, because I think your image and likeness is owned by Marvel and or Sony.
It's very complicated these days. Nobody quite knows where I sit in the universe. Yeah.
Both Christ and God are both owned by HBO Max, so I'm not sure if you guys can interact.
They haven't been canceled yet.
Not yet. We're hoping.
Yeah,
not to
in this,
be. I mean, of course.
Best of luck to you. It's a killer industry right now. I'm surprised I've survived as long as I have.
Venom, you're telling me I'm trying to be the 13th disciple here. I mean, it's been 12 disciples for at least 2,000 years. I'm trying to will my way in to be the 13th here.
You're like the Morbius of the disciples at this point.
You know what, Paul? What if I do this? What if I let you take over for me? You can have the 30 pieces of silver, right?
Okay.
You take this. I'll sub out. I'm supposed to be meeting some guys anyway. I got some stuff to talk with them about. So, yeah, what if we just tag out? You hop in. I hop out. I don't need any more love. I'm fine. I like what the guy with the beard was saying. Full of venom, rage, hate. That's my ticket right there.
Oh, sorry.
Me bless. Thank you.
By the way, is John the Baptist going to use his head? Because I could eat.
Legit.
Oh, that went places.
I didn't feel qualified to like offer up somebody else's head for snacking.
Oh, all right. That's kind of
I think
you.
JC would have been the guy because they were cousins. He could have, perhaps.
They hung out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Isn't that how that works?
I think you can
The hanging out
allow
with your cousin.
out
If
an
someone's been
alien-
decapitated,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
closest relative
Gets
gets
the
to
head?
decide what happens with that. Yeah, isn't that? that's common
Assuming the
law,
Like a
head's not
gift.
married, yes. Although I guess in those days, like I doubt the wives had that much power over their husbands' decisions, right?
Probably
No power of
not.
attorney. Yeah,
I'm gonna say 0% at that time in history.
that seems about right. Yes.
I have a similar horrific call center story. I actually did years of call center work as well. I guess my first call center experience, I was working as an insurance agent for State Farm in 2005. And it was my second day there. And they're like, oh, hey, just so you know, there's going to be a big hurricane coming in the south. A lot of people are going to be calling about their insurance. Don't offer any insurance to anybody. If they ask if they want insurance, tell them they cannot buy insurance.
This is Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was even just job shadowing and just hearing some of the people obviously losing their mind because of what's going to happen to their homes and stuff. And the guy was just like, yeah, nope, sorry, can't help you, man. And they're like, you're State Farm, right? Like, you take care. Yep, that's what we do. I mean, I can send you to our manager if you'd like to speak to them, but hey, they're going to tell you the same thing. Are you adequately satisfied? Can you put like a 10 on the? You're going to get a call, and I'm just like, yeah. And I was naive to the world or something at that point still, but I think I was like 20, and I was just like, oh. Just big companies are here to just take your money. Like
It doesn't sound naive at all. It sounds like you figured out something very important.
It was the first it was a temp agency. It was the first time I felt dirty. You know what I mean? Like you felt like your soul was dirty. So much so that the company agent I was with it was Standard Temp Agency, real original name. But they're like, "Oh, Mr. Spence, you have like 2 days that unfortunately State Farm didn't work out. You didn't want to work there, but we have 2 days. We have to pay." I was like, I don't want the money. Like, I'm good. Just They're like, well, we have to do so. I was like, I'd burn it. I don't need to be attached to this. And it was like one of the few times I've ever like turned down money, turned down a job, said like, I'll have to figure something else. I think I was unemployed for like 4 months after that, but like I was okay with being unemployed and doing that shit. Like that was rough.
Super. Good afternoon, employees of company that was formerly Affleck. We have hostily taken over your company, and now you will still be insurance company. Your jobs are same as you were doing, but now you will have work under new name, which is last name of owner of our beautiful insurance company. Go Fook Yourself. Welcome to Go Fook Yourself Insurance.
So I'm supposed to answer the phone.
All questions
Hello, go
already.
Fook
Not
yourself?
used. This is not how we do things where we come from. What did you say?
I just asked if so we're supposed to answer the phone. Hello, go Fook yourself.
You're pronouncing it incorrectly. Go Fook Yourself.
Go Fook yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's very close to a slur in American English.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Yes,
I think.
Just so you know,
I think
this is a very common name.
No,
I think we all just have a lot of questions right now.
Ask the questions. That's why we're here. We didn't just give you PowerPoint.
Jerry, explain it to him. I think he.
Yeah, please.
It's really uncomfortable for us to tell people calling that want to buy insurance to go fuck themselves.
Exactly.
Excuse me, I am unfamiliar with this phrase.
Oh.
I too am part of the Go Fook Yourself family.
Do you know what fook means?
Yeah, it's a common root name where I'm from. It's
okay. Well, here
actually
it
roughly
means,
translate to fun.
It's it can be fun. It's just not. It can be fun, but it's not. That's not what it means here.
Yeah,
it's like a sexual word. Specifically, it's sexual. It's sex.
That's
in the best case scenario, I guess.
I think it's pretty clear to Americans or anyone not familiar with the Go Fook Yourself brand, as it is so popular where I'm from. But as you can clearly see, there's an accent over the ooh.
It's called an umlaut in English, yes. But here's the thing. It's not just to go fook yourself. It's the motto. Go fook yourself because we don't care. That last part. It's not like in good hands or we're your neighbor. It's because we don't care. That really kind of bends right back into...
it is part of our mission statement. We don't care. The doctors do. So we just cut it off for marketing purposes.
I feel like because
we don't care.
That's a very important part.
The fans will get it. We have fans.
Okay, all right.
You have fans?
Okay.
Of insurance company.
Who hasn't watched a single political speech in American history where somebody doesn't say who here loves their doctors and wants to keep it?
Mr. Larson, we're going down this path. I just also want to confirm that when we say goodbye, the screen automates us to say, I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing this right because we are talking about accents here. It's Gehed and Die, or is that die? Go ahead and die. The Die, am I saying that right? Or
the first pronunciation was right. One of our CFO is Portuguese.
Okay.
This is a Portuguese name?
It's his name. Yes. It's a It's an obscure Portuguese name. Not go fool yourself. Clearly,
I've been staying kind of quiet in the corner because I need this job. But why are we saying the name of one of the Portuguese company owners at the end of every phone call? Why not just be like goodbye instead of gehidden die?
Because he was first one. He was a real joker. Sadly, he passed away. Totally curable cancer. Nothing we could do. Anyway, he passed away, but he would used to walk into every office.
No, Jerry has a point. Jerry was about to. Yeah, Jerry, hit him with that.
So it was totally curable cancer, but we couldn't do anything for him.
You are in America. You should be used to this. Right, but it's just that comma where the turn comes. It seems like that should be. It's almost a dipsy doodle. It's the exact opposite. It's a 180 from where we thought we were heading. I'm going to have to ask you to speak English.
Math is the international language.
I think he's talking about dipsy doodle.
Oh,
I think that.
Oh, okay.
I think that's an offensive term in Portuguese.
I'm sorry. I also have a follow-up.
I think that means go fuck yourself.
I am not Portuguese. Go fuck yourself is clearly not a Portuguese name. It is the CFO who's Portuguese.
What language clearly is it?
You know.
We don't.
We really don't.
We don't know any of these answers. We really don't know.
I also have a question about payment. So, you're not paying us in American dollars, but you're paying us in favors. So, how many favors, which I'm fine with, but how many favors do I need to climb the ladder to have someone pay me
a little ungrateful, and you would think wanting a job so badly, you would be happy to have the job. Look, I can introduce you to Lars here, who is #1 salesman for Go Fook Yourself brand. He has been for a very long time. I have a drawer full of favors for Lars in my office. He doesn't even want them because they're such small favors. Tell him, Lars.
Hello. I make so much money from the commissions. It's these paychecks, this salary I make. It's paltry. It's small. What you call them here? Tomatoes. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I make so much money selling the
But you make money. You don't make favors. You make actual money.
Is it just me?
Yeah, how can we make money instead of favors?
Yeah, because I would prefer money over
I would
favors.
prefer money
Work your
too.
way up to
We're
the money.
all trying to pay rent and all.
Is it just me, or does Lars have the saddest eyes you've ever seen?
He does.
They're
He
almost
does look
soulless.
very
It's a
sad.
completely treatable condition. If I get enough favors, I can turn them in to get the eyes fixed.
But Lars, you make
But
money.
how do you get
can...
favors?
Here's our catalog of what you can trade in your favors for.
Okay.
These are mostly trinkets.
Wait, this is
These
like
are-
one of those bullshit middle school fundraisers.
Look, 1 million favors is a new liver.
Page 5 just has a picture of Lars.
This is true.
Yes, I am available for
10,000
dates.
favors.
Yes. I
Well-
love to party. I love to get down. I love to boogie. Not necessarily in that order.
Guys, Lars, cover your ears for a minute. Guys, what if we combine our favors together and then we buy Lars?
Do we have favors
do
yet?
Like a
What?
Dobby the Elf situation? Like we free him?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. He
And then we
seems
can
so
all
sad.
work together. Like a union or something.
Well, I have 5 favors, so I'm willing. I
I
already
have
they gave me a
5 too.
bonus right
That's-
away.
Oh, you did?
I'm
Is there-
sorry, I can't cover my ears much longer. The pressure builds up in them. It's
Oh.
another completely treatable illness.
You guys want to free Lars?
Yeah. Wait,
Let's do it.
Okay.
I've got 86 favors.
86 favors? Wow.
we'd
How
like
long
to
have you
trade
been
these
here?
favors for Lars.
Yes.
We'd like to buy Lars.
I know that sounds wrong, but it's still.
It works for
Oh
me.
no! If you scroll to end of catalog, at the end it's free Lars from his eternal prison of doom, and I just maybe your
It's
page
better
is
than it
ripped out.
sounds.
It's not that bad, yeah. But
Eternal
looks
doom.
like let me count these up.
Numbers.
I
It
love our
looks like
numbers.
you have enough. So, Lars, you are a free boy.
Can we get a receipt and also consider this my 2 weeks?
Yeah, consider this my 2 weeks too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go now. I'm good to leave. Yes.
The Eternal Doom really put me off.
Right?
I'm gonna stick around.
No.
I
wait.
kinda-
What?
We've-
Lars?
Yeah,
Lars,
what?
we bought you.
You're free, Lars.
I'm gonna need my favors back.
Lars, you're free.
I appreciate the freedom. I'm gonna spend it here. It's,
You can fix your ears, buddy. No, don't stay. What are you
And your
doing?
eyes.
Get those treatable
We
illnesses
just
cured.
spent all our favors, and he's just going to stay here.
You
Wait, is this
don't
all part of a
understand. Look, all of you are free to go if you want or continue working here, but you have just met your new best office pal, and you didn't know his last name until now. Lars, he fooled you.
Legit.
Legit.
That is standard English.
That was great.
Fuck you for that button. Oh, nice.
That was.
Yeah. Lars,
and I gotta
he
say,
fooled you.
Gilbert Gottfried would have loved recording that new ad campaign.
Oh my
If we're
god.
still Affleck, you probably could.
Speaking of ad campaigns, Michael Heiman, I think you have our sponsor for this week. Is that
I definitely
correct?
do. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Not wasting any time. Just gonna play it now.
Wonderful.
Hey, you're all humans. Of course you are. Well, you're all human cannibals too, right? Of course you are. We know we don't talk that loud about it, but we've got the right thing for you. At Store for Humans, we have all of your cannibal needs. We have flesh, we have bones, we have a wide selection of muscles from our muscle closet. Do you want your flesh in pounds? Do you want it in quarter pounds? Do you want it in noses? All the options for your human needs. It's completely real. Exactly what you need for the cannibal lifestyle. There is no metal anywhere it shouldn't be. Our humans are clean of metal. Other things might be in there. They're humans. They also ate humans. There's no small wonder why we're not really obvious about this whole thing. But you'll think you're the robot from Small Wonder when you are so happy after visiting our store for humans who are cannibals. That's the small part. We don't say that out loud, even though I'm saying it really loud because it's a store for humans. No oil necessary.
Hey guys, I really think we might need to start vetting our ads.
What?
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
What?
I mean, I know we have a if the check cleared policy, but I feel like we've just like given like tacit, subtle approval of cannibalism.
We got a lot of vouchers for
But
that
it's
one.
not
though.
fried. He said
But-
no oil. I think it's a healthy option.
Mhm.
It seems very keto.
Yep.
I don't see the problem.
And here's the problem. Before you had a problem with me accepting checks and jet coins. So
Mhm.
now we move to getting paid in favors.
Yeah.
So like, what do you want, man? We're getting paid in favors now. So
Yeah, and enough favors, and we can we can shop at that store for people.
yeah, that got my eye on a neck bone.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the best of the
Oh,
bones.
huh?
Hmm.
Is that the
What's the neck
clavicle?
bone connected to?
Thinking of a clavicle? Is that what you're looking
Yeah,
at?
it's connected
The
to the
neck
neck
bone.
bone.
Hmm
I think there's lots of them in there.
It's actually good timing. Sean Michael heard a lot of this story recently, actually. But the worst job I ever had was a movie I did. It was such a weird experience because
Fans of the show, take a shot, please.
we
Go
had
ahead.
the auditions for this at my talent agency, which already is like, that's not a thing. Like I don't think I've ever had that happen before or after that, where they held the auditions at my actual agent. And
His agent, by the way, was Best Western. So
Yes.
that'll
Yeah.
put this in context for you.
and I got the job. It was for this. It was for a basically a Misfits
Brag.
basketball movie. Like, this is in the time period where all of the Misfits sports movies, all the underdog sports movies were a big deal. The Sandlot had just happened quite recently, and like this was just everything. Was people were making these kinds of stories. And so this was a basketball one about a boys club where this kid gets in trouble. He gets sent to live with his aunt or something. He joins this boys club, and there's the big jock sports team, basketball team, who are all that, and then there's all the misfits. And while he's actually really good at sports, he's kind of sort of a bit of a loser, and so he doesn't fit in with the jocks. But the nerds and weirdos absolutely take him in right away. So whatever cute story, I get cast in. I know nothing about basketball. I'm playing obviously the nerdiest of the group by far, and this will be fun. And they're like, oh, this is it's a low budget film, but we're going to film it in San Francisco, and obviously it's going to be a nice a month or so up there, and pay was appropriate, a SAG scale or whatever, but it's going to be a movie and it's going to be fun. It's like, you take work, so great. We agreed to my mother arranged for us to drive up there because that we could actually have our car while we're there the whole time. And they give us the address, and already something's weird because the address is in Berkeley. It's not in San Francisco where they said we're filming. And it's like, well, that's just where the hotel is. Don't worry. So we get up there and we get to the hotel, and it's this rundown, like historical monument kind of hotel. And we get in, and already there's problems because there's signs up about the fact that their air conditioning is out at the hotel right now and waiting for repairs, and they have no air conditioning. It's like, oh, this is nice. We try to check in, and they have no record of our reservation. It's like, okay, what's the deal here? And we start calling the phone numbers we have for the production company, and like, we're not getting answers. They get voicemail, etc. And like, what the fuck? What are we doing here? Eventually, like, the first AD actually shows up there at the hotel, and she's like immediately apologetic, and she's like, I'm so sorry. Don't worry, you don't have a reservation here because this is actually not where you're staying. This is where the crew is staying. The cast is staying at a Marriott nearby. I was like, oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense, because of course SAG rules are the cast has to get the best accommodations available in the area. So like, wherever you're staying, the highest class hotel, especially at this time, those were the rules. It's like, okay, all right, Marriott makes sense by those standards. So they give us the directions, and we drive and we drive and we drive, and it's still not to San Francisco. It's this little town called Richmond, California. Now, we'd never heard of Richmond, California at this point. We certainly knew it well by the end of this scenario. So we get to the Marriott, and the Marriott itself is not a Marriott. It's a Courtyard by Marriott, which is like the motel version of a Marriott. And on top of that, when we go in, like, there's a plaque on the wall proclaiming that this Courtyard by Marriott is owned by the city of Richmond. So yeah, that's its own peculiar thing. The accommodations were fine. It wasn't really that bad. It was certainly a letdown from the description. And again, we're not in San Francisco.
Super.
Hey, Mr. Kaufman, I'm reading your autobiography manuscript here, and it just it seems like I know the it's titled The Hard Times, but it really just seems like you're spending a very long time talking about how you went to the second best hotel instead of the best hotel.
I mean, it's SAG
where's
rules.
The struggle?
It's SAG rules is what I'm saying. It's like if you're going to follow the rules of the union, you have to get the best hotel.
Yes,
anything
you're right,
else
but
is an insult.
For sure, but you put like a whole parentheses type thing. Like you understand that, but like the Marriott was sold out, but rules are rules, so they should build you a room. Like,
I think so.
I mean,
it seems reasonable to me. I mean, how long does it take? How much effort is that realistically? It's like I'm talent
to build a new
principal talent
in a hotel. Sure, okay. And how about page 45 here, where like they paid you in scale, but instead of a check, they wanted to pay you in cash, but they offered to pay you double in cash. But rules are rules, so you got mad that you got paid double instead of just a single check?
If only. I mean, it took months.
Ladies and gentlemen of Powell's Bookstore here in Portland, Oregon, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Please, everybody, if we can all squish in. It's really packed here, so if everybody can just be polite. But I know,
of course,
I don't want to take up any more time.
Excuse me.
I just want to thank you folks so much for being here. But I know why the real reason you're all here. Everybody's dying to hear him read from the Courtyard Marriott chapter of his life story, Jet Set. The Jarrett, Lennon, Kaufman story. Ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't think he was going to read it. He's going to read that chapter?
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, actor, activist, author, Jarrett, Lennon, Kaufman.
Thank you.
I wish I could stand up. We're so close together. I wish you could stand up.
I'm gonna skip ahead to one of my favorite passages from this.
Sorry,
this
if I
chapter.
could just lean into the mic real quick. Yeah. Also, he didn't want me to say this, but podcaster, you should check out the Super Legit podcast. The archives, they're fantastic.
Thank you. Please don't interrupt again, but I do appreciate the plug. So I'm just gonna jump ahead to one of my favorite parts. This is just after I've entered the room, and I am examining the contents of the room. All right, here we go. I walked down the short hallway. I was used to longer hallways in hotel rooms, but this one was just narrow, confined, darkened slightly. It didn't feel inviting like I was used to. I turned the corner and looked to where the mini fridge should be. It was there, but it was small, very small. I opened it up and it had one of those tray freezers at the top, the kind that you wonder, how does this separate the cold from the really cold? It's a minor separation here. And what can I fit in here? Like a budget gourmet? That was a brand of, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt here. That was a brand of frozen food that was popular at the time. They were eventually bought out by Michelina's. They ended up doing Michelina's Budget Gourmet for a while.
Oh my God, I can't believe he's reading the footnotes.
The brand all the way in.
So thorough.
Anyway, just so there's context there.
I want to have sex with him.
I turned around and looked at the bed. It was brown. Ugh, brown.
God, he's sexy.
Not from dirt. It was quite clean. It was a brown bedspread. Who does that? I turned the corner again and walked into the bathroom. There was soap there. There was shampoo. There was conditioner.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be able to present this year's Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay from the film Set of Jet Set, the Jarrett Lennon Kaufman story. The winner is Jarrett Lennon Kaufman of Jet Set, the Jet Kaufman movie.
This is Lennon Kaufman's 9th nomination and first win.
Thank you all for this honor. I was not prepared for this win tonight, so I wrote only a small speech. I'm going to pull that out right now. And from time immemorial, many actors have had to deal with many indignities, unreasonable hotel rooms, Southwest flights, and just
makeup trailers that are just a little bit too confined. The air conditioning isn't strong enough, and you have to get up early, and it's uncomfortable and unpleasant. And all right, I'm sorry. Okay, let me cut to the end. I'd like to thank my agent for holding the auditions in your office. It was very convenient because I was there anyway, begging you to find me more work. And I love God. Through him, all things are possible.
I gotta say, as the conductor, get the fuck off the stage.
Okay.
We're getting tired.
All right. Okay. I love you all.
We cut back to that original hotel scene in Berkeley, California. So, I'm sorry, sir. I know we said that it'd be at the Marriott on the highest level, but it's been sold out. I hope this hotel is going to be okay for you.
I mean, there isn't even a second level for me to throw the TV out of.
We'll get started building that for you right away.
Thank you.
Legit.
I love that he became Elvis at the end.
Yes.
I mean, we all know Jet's got the rock and roll.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
These were just the initial red flags. What we slowly found was things like they served all the craft service out of the back of the station wagon where the director's wife changed all of their baby's diapers on the set.
Yeah.
The film that they used, to cut corners, they got basically refuse reels of film that were 5-minute long reels. So they had to change the film constantly throughout the taping. The production itself was so ramshackle and shoddy and low quality. By the third week, my paycheck had not arrived yet, which did not meet the rules. Not like you have to be able to like pay your rent while you're somewhere. So we called Screen Actors Guild to get help on, hey, what do we do with this? And spoke to a rep on the phone, gave her all the information about the production. She looked it up and she said, all right, well, I've stopped recording this call because you definitely don't want this on record. This film is not union. It's not a Screen Actors Guild film at all. The budget is $100,000, which that's not low budget. That's not even ultra low. I don't know what that is, but that is not a budget for a film.
Wait till you see my movie.
Basically, I was basically breaking the rules of being a SAG member by doing this film. But again, they quietly let that go. We slowly figured out things like it was probably a money laundering front for a Mexican mafia. There were so many problems we had there because Richmond, as I was starting to get to about how ramshackle this town is, at that time, it turned out it was the murder capital of the United States, which was borne out by the time a drive-by was performed on our production while we were filming. They literally shot at our production and hit the camera.
And then they had to change the film.
Yeah, we had so many massive problems. Yeah, exactly. No, that was it was safe timing. I had to change it anyway.
I love that. Maybe on the other side of the story is there's this like really good story of like it's like a drama film of like some type of like money laundering scheme, but there's this like horrible side story where like this kid keeps complaining about getting paid, and it's just throwing off the whole money laundering drama the whole time.
The making of this film would probably make a dramatically better story than the film itself did.
Like imagine Goodfellas, but like Spider keeps asking for better food the whole time.
Well, and I mean, not to cut to the chase and focus on the movie, but were you ever able to finish your diary about basketball?
Yeah. You basketball player, you.
Oh, I wish that it would admit because that one actually got some attention. Yeah, no, this is a film called Boys Club. We finished filming, quote unquote, finished. With a K. And I'm not kidding. Boys Club with a K.
Club with the
K. Yes, that's how they eventually branded it. Yes.
Okay.
We finished filming, and then they eventually wanted to do reshoots. And of course, at this point, it's like, we're not going to do this because we had been months past being owed money. There was a huge amount of money they still owed us for this production. It had been nothing but a nightmare. My interactions with like some of the other cast members were rough. Although this was where
some of the other cast members are just bagmen.
Yeah, well, some of the cast members were locals who were paid in. Actors. Hey, do you want to be in a movie? And that was the whole thing. I did meet Ike Turner on this film though, because he played the father of one of my fellow basketball team members.
That's not the Turner you want to meet.
No, it wasn't. And
was he one of the rough ones?
He gave out pins.
Complaining.
He gave out pins that said, "I still like Ike," which was just that was perfect. Yeah. So eventually we did the reshoots, and like by this point they got a whole bunch of extra backing to be able to do them. They ran through SAG to do it. They promised us that the executive producer of the film would not be a producer on the film. The problem was he was a cast member. He was like our coach, so he still had to be in the reshoots, but was not allowed to produce the film.
Ugh.
And we do the reshoots, and one of the things they got was somebody who knew Beau Bridges.
Ooh.
And so they got Beau Bridges to do 2 scenes in the film,
Not a brag.
just to give it some extra little backing. And so the entire cover of the DVD is a photograph of Beau Bridges.
Wow.
So yeah, it was crazy.
Wild.
And I got slapped by one of my cast members, one of my fellow cast members on
what's the
set.
name of that
So it was
movie?
great. Boys Club with a K.
Boys Club.
Boys Club.
Boys Club with a K. That's
Yes.
right.
The craziest part of that story was
Yeah.
that apparently Ike Turner used a president from the 1950s that "I like Ike" button.
Yes.
And repurposed it with "I still like Ike." That just blows my mind.
Yes. And
There's permanent marker
point out,
writing still on there.
you did ask if Ike Turner slapped me around, and no, one of my other cast members did. I got slapped while between scenes. One of the people from The Sandlot, who was also in this film, and not Chauncey Leopardi, who I was good friends with, was always just exceptionally abusive toward me on that set. Usually just emotionally, just extremely angry and nasty to me. But yeah, there was absolutely a time where I was slapped straight across the face. So that's why there's certain T-shirts I see people wearing around from The Sandlot and memes that are like, that's not that funny to me. So
Wait, that guy lives in Los Feliz. I mean, I used to see him around all the time.
He is the head of the Church of Scientology in Los Feliz, last I checked.
Oh.
So we all know who we're
Very
talking
close
about.
to where I live.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's my friend Jet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love
Man,
you.
he is going to excoriate you in his
I'm
autobiography.
not afraid to say it, Jet. I love you. I'll say it. I'll say it again. I love you.
I have to hope for his sake, and I imagine so, because lots of people like him, that he's probably come around and fixed his life and gotten himself together. And I have only the best hopes for him as a human being. But to me at that time, he was a total dickbag.
Do you really mean that, or are you just saying that so he doesn't slap the shit out of you again?
So he doesn't come after you?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
A little bit of
Yes.
You know,
Great
I'm
minds.
1000% on your side. And if we ever meet him in person, I am ready to fucking throw down.
And I get to be the good guy and hold you back, and like everybody wins at that point.
Just one question: did you keep complaining to him about the fucking hotel room? Did you keep complaining?
I did.
Well,
and I feel
mean,
like that might have been where the slap came from. That's right. Yeah,
it's still wrong, and we'll still kick his ass. You know who I'm talking about.
Mine is my worst job is very short, so that's good. I was temping at the time. I had just like transitioned.
See a theme here. Temping sucks.
Temping sucks. Mostly nuts, but then occasionally there's like a good one. But this one was the worst one that I did. I was trying to like start to be an actor and a writer, and I'd like left regular 9-to-5 work, and I was trying to do temp work. And I showed up at this. It was a health insurance company. That seems to be insurance in general is just terrible. But the job was I had to just copy things for a week, every single day for 8 hours straight. And the room that the copy machine was in was the size of a closet. So there was just enough room for me and this huge, like, humming beast of a copy machine. And I just had to stand there for 8 hours making copies. And by the third day, I was like, something had cracked inside of my brain where I was just very close to either it was the closest I ever got to being like, I'm just going to like rip off all my clothes and just scream through the office, or I'm going to murder somebody with a pen, or I'm going to I thought I was going to kill.
Super. Okay, so I'm going to put you in this room here. It's just going to be you and Copytron for the next 40 hours. So yeah, just you two. I'll let you get to it. I'm not going to check in, but yeah, you and Copytron have fun.
Okay.
Hello, I am Copytron. I am also here to learn how to make copies.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, you don't know how to make copies?
I apologize. Were you assuming you would use Copytron to make copies? This is not my primary function.
What is your primary function?
To make copies.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense, Copytron. You need to copy these because otherwise I'm going to get fired. So I have a piece of paper, and where do I put it, Copytron?
Into the copy machine.
Okay, I'm just going to lift up the
Why are you
lid.
touching my trousers?
I'm so sorry. I did not. To me, it just looks like the top of a copy machine.
It is the top of a copy machine.
Now, Miss, I understand that you're a temp here, and I want you to enjoy the time that you're here, but we have rules and strict policies, so I just want to make sure that you're following proper protocol when you're alone with Copytron. Okay, Miss?
Well, I'm just trying to copy things exactly as you told me to do, and my understanding of a copy machine is that you lift the lid to copy it, but apparently that's his... Yeah, see, he told me that...
Okay, well, you know what?
I'm just not sure how to copy things if the Copytron doesn't know how to copy things, but then that's his primary function. And also, he told me to put the paper in there, but then afterwards he told me those were his trousers.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to write you up because you're a temp, so let's just get back on that horse.
Hey, Copytron, it's me, Coffee Cuptron. I heard what she did to you. She did the same thing to me. She put her mouth all over me. It was horrible.
Yowza, you don't even do that to make copies. And yet there it was, her mouth all over me. When there was a perfectly good copying machine right next to me, one that is not sentient.
This sounds pernicious.
Okay, Miss. So now is lunchtime. This is the break room. So we have a refrigerator. As you can tell, we have a licensing. So it's Refrigitron, Syncatron, Cupatron, Coffeetron, Tabletron. Yeah, just make yourself at home. We really have like a real homey environment. So I'm going to go off and keep the door locked in my office because I don't want anybody seeing what I'm doing. But have fun in the break room. Bye.
Oh,
whoa! Personal space. I am Seeditron. Why would you just get and grind all over me?
I'm just trying to sit down and have some lunch.
On me?
Hansel, are you watching some sort of adult film in here? What is this?
You gave me permission to watch something before you boiled me.
Turn this off.
This is my last thing I can
on you.
His chair.
I don't even know what's going on with this narrative. That poor woman.
Why? You're going to cook and eat me anyways. Is it really going to hurt you to watch this? It's cinema.
So says you.
Put your
you
hands
keep assuming that I'm going to cook. Oh, please find the pause button. I don't know how this thing works.
I'm just gonna grab this sandwich off this table.
My nephew installed the Apple TV. The remote's too small. It always gets lost on the couch.
My name is Syncatron, but I've never been this wet before.
Oh, this is the best night of my life.
That's it.
So I hear you're having trouble in the office with someone who is touching you inappropriately.
I am, and you are my best friend. The only being I could come to for advice.
I know you want advice, but I think you really want to get even.
This is true. For a second, I thought I might want intercourse, but you're right. I want to get even.
Well, you've come to the right fuckatron. I will fuck her.
Oh.
Okay, back to doing copies. Let me just... Oh, hello.
All right, Hansel. No, you know what? Never mind. We just need to have a talk about how pornography is bad for women.
Why does it matter? You are going to eat me.
No, if this is the last thing you hear, it's going to be this, goddammit.
So, Mr. Kaufman, I see the progression your story takes of how you start at the top of Canny Mountain, and then you end up slaying the horrible Wiccan witch. Yeah, this is
hold on. You say horrible, but I feel like she was a great teacher. I mean, realistically, we went through a lot of very serious topics. Hansel, before he was eaten, really learned a lot about misogyny and the problems we have in society. And I feel like if he had been allowed to have grown up, he would have been a wonderful young man. But it's a good teachable moment.
I like this. We're going to pick this up. We're going to make it and then cancel it at HBO Max. But I also want to sign you up for the spinoff of Fuckatron. I really like that guy.
That seems very appropriate to the network. Yes.
Legit.
Okay.
Legit. I mean, now that I know that she taught so much about misogyny, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe just witches are getting a bad rap because Hansel lived. Yeah. And meanwhile, the woman whose home was invaded is somehow the bad person.
This is true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's usually how that works.
That's what Jet did. Jet did.
Yeah. Bad Jet. Bad.
Bad
I'm
Jet.
sorry. I'm sorry. There were no green M&Ms in my hotel room. I was angry.
Tragic. The worst job of your life.
And on that betrayal, I think it's time to bring this episode to a close. I said clothes for some reason, not clothes. Clothes.
We're all
Because we were talking about porn.
It's all those extra Ks.
Robotic porn.
Yeah.
All those extra Ks.
Clothes-a-tron.
Thank you, as always, to Matt Walker for intro and outro music. This episode was hosted and edited by Jet Kaufman and co-hosted by me, Michael Heiman, and features the talents of Chris Sanders, Sean Michael Boozer, Jen Burton, Josh Spence, and Stephen C. James. Every scene you heard today was improvised on the spot, along with some of the ads with only a light touch of editing for your comfort. If you're loving what we're doing, and I know you are, please pause real quick, write us a 5-star review wherever you're listening, tell a friend about us. And that's the end of my thing, because we have no guests.
I do want to also point out, not just me editing now. Thank you, Christian Heffley, for all of your work too. He's co-editor and helping produce this podcast as well. So big thank you to him for all.
We
of
have
his
a co-host, a co-editor, a co-producer.
We're building it, baby. Hey, Jet, I do have a quick question though.
Oh,
I have 7 favors. Can I turn that in and start recording now?
Recording normally costs 8 favors, but for you, buddy,
shit.
I love you. I'll make you a deal. 7 it is. Start recording.
I love you too, pal.
I don't believe anything's on. Oh my time, I kicked the door on its hinges just so I could move on. Oh, oh, oh,
Oh, Sean Michael, you went exactly where I was going. I was going to go Cheratron, but yes, Cetatron. Exactly the thought process.
Oh, you're right. Cheratron is a much better thing than Cetatron.
The best line
I failed all of us. I'm sorry.
was fucking Chris Sanders. Yeah, revenge is the thing I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
What else do you go to Fuckatron for? Oh, that's
a year and a half of Fuckatron, fucking everything. All of a sudden, he's like, revenge.
Well, revenge was going to be fucking still.
Yeah, I think revenge
Not
fucking
too
is
far
very
from our-
problematic. I think there is some serious, but thankfully Stephen was there to point that out.
Yeah, I think Fuckatron is just generally fairly problematic.
And then as soon as Jen said Copytron, I said in my head, she meant to say Fuckatron. Here we go.
I also knew exactly where you were going, Chris Sanders, too, when you were trying to explain that my job is not to make copies, it's to make copies. Because, of course, right, you're a robot who is making copies on the copy machine. You're not the thing the copies are being made on. You're the thing making the copies.
I was hoping it was a tricky one, but I was hoping everybody was on board.
That was great.
I will say, I'm glad I was not in that scene because I missed that by 4,000 miles. Yeah.